Hi, I'm Maciej from Eonia talking about data loss prevention. Today, NGINX Proxy Manager. It's the easy way to manage a lot of SSL certificates, free certificates using Let's Encrypt. It's easy way to put a lot of web pages with certificate with only one IP address. It's easy way to manage it with nice graphic user interface based on open source. It's something what we like. I will show how to configure it on docker-compose. So let's get started.
If you need our support in designing, implementing or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access or true NAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks, and now let's get back to the technical details.
On the beginning, please remember that the most important thing in that case will be correctly implemented DNS. In our case, to make it easier, DNS will server DNS for us will be Cloudflare. So in my case, domain is pointing to Cloudflare every time when someone wants to have IP for that domain will reach to Cloudflare. Next, how NGINX works. NGINX have two functions. First, very important, is proxy. How it works? When someone will reach NGINX, NGINX, basing on URL information, will pass the request to correct server. We can have one, two, or many servers every time NGINX, when he will be able to identify correct domain, he will forward it there, get the information, and will serve it to us. This is the first function. Second function is managing certificates. Mostly, we will use Cloudflare. We will use Let's Encrypt. He's able to manage, let's say, standard certificates. You can buy anywhere certificates and put it to NGINX, but it's not why we are here. It's better to use Let's Encrypt because it's automatically he will do renewal every couple of months. It's free. It's working. It's quite a good feature. So how it work? Let's Encrypt have two ways of approving certificates. First, it's HTTP challenge. How it works? When NGINX requests certificates from Let's Encrypt is going to that domain, and he will expect to have that folder, and in that folder he will expect that there will be something what will be able to confirm that domain is ours. In that case, Let's Encrypt signed certificates, will send it to NGINX, and it works. It's not nice because of public IP. We need to expose publicly domain for Let's Encrypt to allow him to reach the HTTP challenge. In most cases, when this is a standard web page or standard public services, it's no issue. We can work like that. It's cool. But sometimes when we want to have internally certificates, for example, we don't want to allow our services to be publicly available. In that case, we don't want to expose port with these services to internet. In this situation, we can use the other way, so it will be DNS challenge. How it works? NGINX is putting request to Let's Encrypt to get the certificate. In the same moment, he will put the request to Cloudflare to add something, what is necessary to add to DNS domain to allow Let's Encrypt to confirm that the domain is ours. In that case, Let's Encrypt generate certificates, give it to NGINX, and it works. So in that case, we have certificates without putting without exposing our services to the world. Please remember, to make it work, we need to be sure that DNS is set correctly. In our case, this internal user will need to get to the NGINX. So DNS, for example, on that router need to be configured to respond NGINX IP for the request or of our domain which we want to use. Let's discuss a little bit about lab which I prepared. In our office we have Docker on the virtual machine, which have configured Docker and docker-compose. We will generate first the first container, which some kind of web services. It doesn't matter what kind of web services, it will simulate as any web services. The second container, which is most important in our case, will be NGINX container. He will do the work for us with the certificates, with the forwarding of traffic, etc., etc. Okay, let's configure that. Let's start configuration for with our example of web services. We will use NGINX. We will prepare very simple service. Like I mentioned, NGINX version latest. He will get that image. He will name it Hello NGINX. He will expose ports. That means that port 8080 will be exposed on host, on Docker host, and it will be forwarded to port 80 on our NGINX demo container. Also, folder will be mounted. The folder HTML will be mounted to the place where NGINX have HTML to share. And I have prepared very simple HTML. It's simply hello world. So with that hello world and that docker compose, we will just make it up. So there is nothing there for this moment. And what we want to do, we want to do docker compose up -d. Up tells him to up, -d make him daemon without interaction with CLI. He will just start it. In this moment, if we will not have images, he will download it here. But in this case, he have that image, so he didn't need to do that. Just make it up. So that's it. Docker ps. There is something. Like I mentioned, the port is forwarded. Let's see how it looks like. Where is it? It's here. Let's say hello world. IP of our Docker compose host, port 8080, and simply here it is. Okay, we have our baseline. We need to go forward. Let's now configure our proxy manager. So he will spin up app service. The image will be get from Docker Hub. Let's see how it looks like. Let's go to Docker Hub. In our case, it will be this image. We should use particular tag. For example, we could use latest, but it's not the best. It's definitely not the best practice in production environment. We can use, for example, the best would be use precise tag, like in this case 2.20.6. For our test purpose, let's just use tag 2, like in this case. So this is our service provider, not the service but the container provider. This is the this is image This is the name of the image, this is the version. Restart unless stop means that every time container will fail from any reason, he will try to spin it up once again. Exposing ports, like last time, we are exposing port 80. The port 80 is important for HTTP challenge. In case we want to use HTTP challenge, we will need that port. Please remember that we need to expose it publicly. Port 443, it's HTTPS standard port. It will provide our web services with the certificates on that port. On port 81, mapped to port 81, this is our management interface of Proxy Manager. If we will need additional service to, for example, FTP, we need to add this port here. Additional, what we need to do is mounting folders, because we need to get those data persistent, even if something happened, even if Docker will failed or something like that, we need to have that data. So 2 folders. First, data, it will keep configuration of our NGINX, and letsencrypt, that will keep our information regarding to letsencrypt. He will create that folders locally, exactly in folder where we are. Additional thing, this version is using SQLite. It's a good approach for small instances. We could use Postgres or MySQL, but it makes no sense in our case. We can adjust the place where the database is kept, and please take a look, it's in data folder. But we will leave it like that. It's, let's say, more advanced tweaking if we will need. We can enable v6, make no sense in our case. This is something what could be interesting. This is healthcheck. So in this configuration, every 10 seconds, he will use this healthcheck to be sure that NGINX is up and running. If it will not, if the timeout will reach 3 seconds, he will reboot that container. And with this line, it means that if something will fail, he will try to restart it to, let's say, try to make it healthy. But this is a base solution. This is the base configuration. No, definitely not complicated. Let's try to make it up once again. Not this folder, sorry, it's up. Let's do it up in the background once again. We need to go to the folder Proxy Manager and make it up. Once again, he will make sure that he have a current version of image. If not, he will try to download it. Sorry, in this case, it will not. I will show you in the moment how to make it, how to update it. Please take a look. He created 2 folders, data and letsencrypt, exactly like we stated in configuration. In the meantime, he should spin up this container, naming it up. It could take a moment. He generates some logs, what have been done. That's good. Okay, everything should be fine. Imported information, default user is admin example.com with the password change me. What is also interesting is he's fetching Cloudflare IP addresses. That's cool. Probably he limit accesses. I mean, probably to be honest, I'm not sure why is he using that, but it could be interesting. What's next? Let's try to update it. Let's stop it. Let's assume we have new version on Docker Hub. Let's we will need to do that pull. Docker compose pulls, the pull, he don't do nothing because it's up to date, and then up with the daemon version. That's it, it's updated. So we have configured our Docker with two things. First, base simple web page and our NGINX Proxy Manager. Okay, let's try to configure that. Okay, we can see that our proxy NGINX, it's working. Like I mentioned, the default login is admin example.com and password is change me. And some typo. Okay, we are logged in. The first thing is change your login. Okay, let's do that, and we need to change also password. So change me and password. Or not. Okay, we are logged in. We have set the password for administrator. So NGINX, it's working. First thing what we need to do is we need to set the host in the background on the backend, which we will need to reach. So host, proxy host. Let's add one. Let's name it web EONA.org. EONA.org will be our test domain. So in our case, it will be HTTP. It is here. It's working. Host name will be. And the port 8080. For now, that's it. Let's prepare the second one for the NGINX as itself to allow him to be encrypted management interface. Proxy. Let's add this once again, HTTP, our address and the port, admin port for, like I mentioned, port 81. That's it. The backend hosts are created. Now what we need to do is we will need to add certificate. To add certificate using DNS challenge, we need to APK from Cloudflare. I will show you how to do that. Let's go to Cloudflare. This is our test account, test domain, EONA.org. Let's try to find click. Where are you? Okay. APK, API token, API tokens. Okay. Let's go to account API token. Yeah, we should have something here. Okay, we have it. Let's delete it. It makes no sense to keep it for now. Let's prepare additional token. We could use a general token for account, but it's not the best approach because of the security. So we will prepare token dedicated for our case. So add the token, use template, which will be able only to edit DNS zone. Zone, DNS, it can be read or edit. Edit in our case will be necessary. Include specific zone, and it will be EONA.org. We can always allow for all domains, but it's not the best approach. So let's keep it like that. We can limit IP. We can limit IP for this token. Okay. Click to continue. We have kind of sum up account, domain and what he will be able to do. So edit DNS. That's it. Create the token. We can copy the token. Okay, in the background, please remember that to make it work, our host, our computer or the customer or the users will need to have prepared correctly DNS, like in this case, ping proxy ionia.org and web ionia.org are pointing directly to host, to our host with Docker. So what we want to do, just to confirm that everything's working, let's test that token. I will copy that, I will paste it here. What will happen? Okay, this token is valid and active. That's cool. We are sure that this token is working. We can try to use it. Once again, copy that and go back to the proxy manager. Add certificates. Let's just mention that we could use custom. If you buy certificates anywhere, you just upload the certificate key, certificate and intermediate certificates, and that will work. But it's not why we are here. We are here to use letsencrypt. Which domain choose? In our test case, we could use two certificates. One will be generated for proxy ionia.org, second will be for web ionia.org. But we will try to use something else. We will use wildcard certificate. In our case, every subdomain in ionia.org will be covered by that certificate. So let's use DNS challenge. It's important to us. Choose provider. A lot of providers, Azure, Cloudflare, GoDaddy, there was something, Google, a lot of not only DNS providers, but also Plesk, also there is somewhere direct admin, there is something cPanel, a lot of possibility. But in our case, we will use Cloudflare. And here it is. This is the only configuration which need to do. We need to copy that token here. There is information that please be aware that it will be kept in clear text. Okay, we need to confirm, agree for terms, and go ahead. That could take a while, max couple of minutes. In the background, all those stuff is going on. So NGINX is pointing to, it's reaching letsencrypt. In the background, he's reaching Cloudflare to prepare DNS challenge. Let's encrypt. Try to check DNS challenge provided by Cloudflare in our case. If that all will work, letsencrypt will prepare certificate for our NGINX and it should just start to work. Perfect, we have it. Let's see, created, let's encrypt via Cloudflare, expires, inactive. Inactive doesn't mean that certificate is not working, it's only mean that no backend is using it. So let's configure that once again. Proxy hosts, let's take a look. SSL HTTP only. Let's change that. Edit. Tap SSL. Let's choose our new fresh certificate. We can use enforce SSL, but it's not the case in this moment. We don't need it. Let's do this exactly the same thing for our second domain. Let's choose our fresh certificate. More or less that's it. Please notice that here we have our hello world. Let's use web. Here it is. We have encrypted hello world web page. More information. Let's see. domain wildcard eona.org, organization letsencrypt, before the certificate begin, the certificates and a lot of other information. Exactly the same for the proxy. We can use the proxy manager interface in encrypted way. Now it works. It's a matter of start using now, but let's take a look for other things just to let you know what's going on. We have access list. For example, we want to limit access to our NGINX. That's possible. Our certificates, we already discussed about that. The users, we could or we should create additional user in cases of many users. Audit logs. Audit logs means what's happened, what was changed on NGINX Proxy Manager, not what's happened in the background or what web page was transferred, nothing like that, just the changes on Proxy Manager as itself. What's more, settings. For example, we have a default page. If we will reach NGINX Proxy Manager, we will see something like that. If we will reach it via domain which he didn't understood and he wasn't able to forward a request to correct server, he will show us something like that. We can always change it. We can return 404 or redirect or custom page. It's good to know that we can do something like that. Nothing fancy, just what we need, quite clear solution. Let's get back to the backend. Take a look how it looks like. Please make sure that if in your production environment, please make sure that those folders and this configuration file will be backed up. To have it work on other server, you need to just copy those two folders and this file, make it up, and it will just work. This is direct configuration. What do we have here? We have data for NGINX. Folder for Let's Encrypt Acme Challenge. It's empty now. We could see the logs here. We can look on them, what's happened, what went potentially wrong. Database SQLite, like I mentioned, SQL is used in that case. What's more, Let's Encrypt. We have credentials. And we can see, like I mentioned, that we have clear text in configuration. Just remember that it's in this case it worked like that. So to make it sum up, it's useful, very intuitive in my opinion. It's working, so just get it and use it, test it. Thank you.
Thanks for staying till the end. Remember, if you need our support in designing, implementing, or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access, or TrueNAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support, but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Meanwhile, we invite you to watch other materials or maybe see you later. Thanks. Bye.